events and activities. 11:30, we're expecting the ship to be clear for you to go ashore in Messina. Remember, key to the world card for everybody. And of course, everyone needs a government-issued photo ID. Most likely, you'll need to take your passports ashore, but have your physical passport with you in this port of call. And remember, keep them with one person, keep them safe, and only get them out if you're asked by an authority, okay?
Just finishing that for you.
So good morning. You will notice we are not at the gym. You did not catch us. No, we're not. You will notice that we are not in gym attire. We did not get any footage of us on treadmills, and that is because we stayed in bed. I had a phenomenal headache when we woke up at 10 to 6.
5:45. Oh
yeah. So that's how bad my head was. Take some Advil though. I'm absolutely fine. I'll survive. We are on our way down to breakfast now. We still haven't docked. You'll have seen the time lapse. We are still very close to the coast of Italy, although it's warm. It's really warm in the room now, even though we've got the aircon on.
Yeah, we're going to have to turn the aircon down. I'm sweating.
Yeah. The heat that is radiating through our porthole is something else. But yeah, we've put the aircon on full blast and we are going from there. One thing I did just want to add in terms of yesterday, I didn't really clarify. The gym. We spoke about getting rainforest room passes and the gym and all sorts. You don't need the rainforest room pass for the gym. You can just go to the gym in the Senses Spa without needing any passes. I'm very conscious that I didn't kind of caveat that yesterday. So, yeah.
Rectifying the situation.
Yes. So we're just about to head down to breakfast. We're going to go to Royal Court.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got it right. And yeah, we will take you with us because we will probably be on our own for this.
We've never done a sit-down
breakfast. No, we haven't. This is going to be a first for us. Normally, we go straight up to Cabanas. We think it's probably a good idea to try something different because we're not in port yet. We are still a couple of hours away from docking in Messina in Sicily. So, yeah, let's head downstairs for breakfast.
Yeah. Yum.
So unfortunately our friend is not working. They did say she was shifted at the last moment, which is a shame, but there we go.
We've got a week to find.
Yeah, we have got a whole week to give her the present. So this is the breakfast menu at Royal Court. I do believe it does change every now and then during the week. So yeah, do you know if it does or not?
I don't think so.
Okay. Danielle has her coffee. I'm just waiting for my tea bag. We have decided we are going for DCL Express amongst a mishmash of other things for my darling wife. Thank you very much. So yes, I've been bought a wonderful English breakfast tea, so we'll make sure that sits and seeps very nicely. Good coffee? So this is the restaurant we ate in last night. As you can tell, it looks very, very different during the day compared to of an evening. But it is stunning. So this is all based on the princesses, isn't it? The menu is very, very nice.
It's French.
Yes.
We'll when we're finished with breakfast, we'll take a quick walk around.
Yeah.
Where we were sat last night, opposite us are some mosaics. It's usually too busy in here to get near them, so...
Yeah. One thing I do notice, all the napkins are like very suave, well-presented three-piece suit jackets.
And the light fixtures around the centre are Cinderella carriages.
Oh yes, they are. But, to give you an idea, and you can tell this is a European cruise...
Everyone's in bed.
Everyone's in bed. It was empty when we walked up this morning.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, we are just waiting, and then when our food arrives, we'll show you the food and go from there. But my tea is seeping. They put the hot water in before they did the tea bag.
British faux pas.
Yeah, my inner Brit is raging. Any Americans will not understand because you use microwaves, which is sacrilege.
But whilst it's quiet, after this we might take a quick walk around the places like the bars.
Yes.
To show you things like that whilst everyone's in bed.
Yes, and also want to make sure that we can get up to watch us actually come into Messina.
Yes.
Breakfasts are served. They've affectionately nicknamed this serving the double, apparently, in the kitchen. Looks really, really good, though. So
this is why I have pancakes on the side.
Yeah.
Because I know it's...
Yeah. Really good service as well. Really, really good service.
Yeah. Got
so,
coffee refilled already.
Yeah. So we will tuck in and we'll let you know what we think after. And just like that, all mine is gone. And just like that, Dan's is nearly gone. And the pancakes, they look like the pancakes you get at Paolo.
Yes. I mean, the pancakes you get at Paolo are just the pancakes you get at Cabanas. just with a bit of orange peel on top. They're good.
But very, very nice. Again, service in here has just been top notch.
I think we're converted.
Yes. Again, just to reiterate, this is not additional ad food. This is all included in what you pay for with Disney. So yeah, no complaints at all. 2 hours away from docking in Messina. As you can see, we can see a lot more of the coastline of Italy as we've gotten further south. And we have come back to our room, and our server Saron, stateroom host, has already done our bed for us.
He works fast.
That man is quick. Like that, we were gone for less than 45 minutes. That man moves. So we're going to go up to top deck. We're going to have a look at the front of the ship and see what it's like as we come in. Probably regret not taking the microphone if we do go up front, but it doesn't look like it's too windy out there. Famous last words. But yes, as Dan's just said, it is, as you've just seen, really, really calm out there. So yeah, we are packing up our bag as well, getting ready to take stuff with us for going ashore. Things we need, as we were told this morning, very, very clearly and repeatedly told.
Do you just spray this onto your head?
I do, but you probably just need to put some onto your finger. So this is a hairspray sort of scalp protector. As you can see, Dan's just putting it on the one single solitary.
My one scalp.
Yeah, the one area that is exposed to the sun.
Oh, my scalp always goes pink. Like, it'll look pink right now, but it's not burnt. It's just the colour my skin goes before it tans. Like, back of my neck yesterday was pink, and today, tan. Yeah.
So, we're not going to take our caps, but we basically said that because we are only off of the ship for, we're off the ship for about 6 hours, but because we're only going to be off of the coach for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, that's right, this excursion is a 2-hour journey each way, there doesn't seem to be much point taking our hats. We are going to take some stuff with us to keep us occupied on the coach though, so we are going to take puzzle books for me, Dan's going to take her Kindle. It is important to think about these things.
I was going to show you also why I'm not wearing my hat. Are you ready to see what I look like in a hat?
I'm going to insert a picture of Danielle from California 22. It's one of my favourite pictures of Danielle.
This one's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
What, my Buzz Lightyear one?
Your Buzz Lightyear one day.
I should have bought that because that actually wasn't too bad.
No, I will insert the picture though if I've not already done so.
I think if it's like a novelty hat, it looks a bit better.
Yeah.
But obviously this is not a novelty hat. It's still not tight enough. I clearly have a very little head.
Welcome to the fashion show with Danielle.
Do I look like a 5-year-old boy?
Let me turn the camera out so you can see what you look like.
I've looked worse.
No.
Like,
I don't think you ever look bad though.
my New York hat. Because we went to New York last year in June and it was very hot, like uncomfortably hot. So I don't mind my hat hair.
I love you.
And I then put my hair up and then I put my ponytail through my cap and I just looked weird. But I needed the hat.
And good morning from Messina in Sicily. We are on our way to docking and we are going to go up to the front of the ship. My wife would like some pictures of her taken, but the aqueduct is open, people are in the pool, people are sunbathing already, which I'm not surprised at.
It's a nice temperature.
It's warm.
It's a nice temperature.
So yeah, just going to get some pictures in front of the funnels for my wife and then we are heading straight up to the front of the ship to see us coming into Messina. And as you can see, it does often work when it's not exceptionally windy. Lots of sunbeds out. Adults only area is getting slightly busier. But yeah, very nice day so far. So if you remember yesterday when we were up at Satellite Falls, the sort of screen shower effect was not on. Now it is, and even though it's a little bit windy, it's far easier to control rather than having water literally blow everywhere. Once again, just mentioned about maintenance on the ships. Continuously painting, continuously taking care of everything to make sure it always looks good. What's really nice about this is normally when we're in the Bahamas, the ships don't get in late, they get in really early. So we are just crossing through Strait, and we are looking at what is a bit of a riptide or a current change, similar to what we've seen in San Francisco underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. It all seems to be starting out there, but it is just stunning to sail through. And loads of people are up here looking at it because everyone seems to think it's a worthwhile view, and they're not wrong. It is absolutely beautiful up here.
Ever closer to the port of Messina, only about 3 nautical miles away from the dock, which is literally dead ahead of us, directly straight ahead of us. Now, we are currently in the Messina Straits, and as you can see, there are ferries that go to and from, non-stop basically, from the mainland of Italy to the island of Sicily. And of course, if you look to the port side, that is the left-hand side of the ship when facing forward. That is mainland Italy, or the tip of the boot that happens to be kicking the island of Sicily, which is on our starboard or right-hand side when facing forward. Just wanted to give you an update as to our arrival. We are expecting to be alongside the pier probably within the next 25 to 30 minutes. And of course, once we are alongside the pier, it's going to take us some time to get the ship prepared. We're expecting clearance of the ship at 11:30 this morning for you. Now, we'll make an announcement as soon as the ship has been cleared, but in the meantime, would kindly ask that you stay well clear of the gangway areas until you hear the announcement that the ship has been cleared.
Just said to Danielle, it's really strange when you're at the side of the boat. It's a very different view, obviously, I know, to the front, but you just see bits kind of appearing and vanishing in the distance as the perspective changes. We've actually said, like, compared to, you know, we've been into Nassau, and Nassau can be pretty, and you know, we've gone into Castaway Cay, and that's really pretty, and Lighthouse Point is really pretty, but there is something about docking on like a mainland location, isn't there, that's just really quite unique.
It's not Ensenada.
Just not Ensenada, yeah. Ensenada was a dump. It was raining, so yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But it really, I mean, Ensenada, in fairness, was full of rubbish. It was really dirty. We're just wondering if it was the, and I use this term loosely, wrong time of year.
Yeah.
But there we go. So yeah, as Jimmy said very kindly a moment ago, and then on the other side where the time lapse has been going, that is mainland Italy, and the boat there that is on the right hand side of all of those is one of the shuttle boats that has just literally gone between mainland and Sicily. Some of the others are also shuttle boats. Apparently they go so frequently you're never going to miss one. But yeah, just absolutely breathtaking. And also, it is warm.
My knees are sweating.
Your knees are sweating.
Like, what?
And as we've come back to our...
Oh wait,
No, carry on.
you got ice cream on the way back.
Don't let us stop you, Dan. Honestly. No, you know, carry on. There we go. Jesus. One of the perks of having a massive porthole, we are turning, is that you get some great views as you come into ports like this. You also, to be honest, there's not a bad view on this ship wherever you stand as you're coming into a port. So the time lapse from the GoPro has mostly been recording all of the side of mainland Italy over there, and then Sicily is on the left of our porthole, which is where we are currently turning to. And again, if you're at the back of the ship, not only will you feel the engine sometimes, but you'll see the effects of the thrusters kicking out to move the ship. So
Also, we came back to our room and we've been pixie dusted.
oh yes, we need to talk about our door, because we haven't at any
we've
stage
not
talked
shown
about our
our
door.
But this was on our door, it's a magnet. But how beautiful! And they put the links to their stuff.
We are actually docking on our side of the ship, and some of the workmen down here were just taking a very nice view of the boat coming in, but I'm just waiting to see if we will catch any of the lines shooting off from the back of the boat where they can then moor up against the mainland. So it does show you the insane level of control that the ships have. What they are holding down there now is one of the guide ropes they've just shot out for the main moorings. And what I can see through the window that you wouldn't be able to see moreover that way is there is a huge sort of like retaining line.
So you'll see the ropes come out.
We've watched this about 4 or 5 times on previous ships.
It fascinates me every time.
It's still, as Dan said, every single time we watch it, we're still like, wow.
There you go. So the yellow bit is the main rope.
Hasn't come into shot yet because we have a very different angle. There we go, you might be able to see it now. Just appearing right at the bottom of the screen. The thing is, that stuff is heavy as well.
Yeah.
So fair play to both of those guys down there.
You can see how much they're leaning into the rope as well. You alright, Paul?
Yep.
We're just going to show you our door. So we've got our magnets on the door because they're magnetic. So that's us. This one came in the room because we're DVC members, and there's DVC on the ship. You should know what this is now.
We love Cloudham.
We love Cloudham. And then this is our question board. We change this every day. And our cruise counter. Do not feed the towel animals. We're here for the ducks. And then the logo for my travel stuff.
We also have other bits, don't we?
We've got more, yeah. We don't bring them all with us all the time, but we'll show you those later.
We do have as well.
You won't be able to reach them.
You'll need to hold the door. And we should really put one out so that
Oh yes, because we're adventuring.
Saron knows what we're doing. I'm going to explain this to him in a minute. We do have... Sorry for the noise, that's going to sound...
Yeah. Rustle.
What, George? We've got ones that say off at the buffet, at the show. Then we've got on an adventure.
That's the one that we're gonna... Oh! The best noise in the world.
Well, once again, a very pleasant good morning, Disney Fantasy. Your cruise director, Jimmy, speaking from the bridge, and want to be one of the first to officially welcome you to the island of Sicily and the port of Messina. As you can see, we are now alongside the pier. We are tying the ship alongside. Straight. We need to get the gangways in place. Local authorities will board the ship. They need to help us with clearance. So, in the meantime, we're going to ask you to please stay well clear.
So this is our first time doing a proper excursion off of a Disney boat. Obviously we have gotten off of the ships before at Castaway and done a couple of bits where there are onshore excursions at Castaway Quay and Lighthouse Point. We didn't really do anything, but this is our first time in a port actually doing an organised excursion. The key bit here is, and we haven't really mentioned this too much, everything that you do on a Disney cruise is linked to the Disney Line Cruise app. So all the information you need for Disney Cruise Line is on their app. So it will include things like Pluto meeting, Stitch meeting, when princesses and the likes are out down here. But the key bit is, we need to meet in the theatre.
But not for a while. We've got about 45 minutes.
Got about 45 minutes. Realistically, we could just go upstairs, couldn't we?
We're just nosing around.
Yeah. You have as much time as you want until the actual excursion requires you to meet. You're normally then given a code or a number or anything like that to follow with the rest of your excursion. So.
Oh, look, he's coming this way.
Is he coming this way? Is he going the other way? No, he's stopped to say hello to people.
There he is.
There he is.
Hi, Pluto. He gave me a lick.
Did he?
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's where, so I'll turn the camera so you can see, that spot that they're just clearing away from, that is where you come on the ship. That's where you actually get on and off the ship when you dock at the start and the end of your cruise.
Also,
ducks, we need to talk about ducks. Dan, would you like to explain?
it is a cruise tradition to hide ducks. That's it. And then you just find them. And this is my first duck. And it was on, as you can see, it's tiny. It was on the banister, and as I was going down the stairs, I knocked it, and it went down a couple of decks. and then I ran to retrieve it.
Yes.
But when we find some next, I'll show you
Indeed.
where the sort of places you find them.
Guest services are on level 3, but also straight opposite guest services on the Fantasy and the Dream.
Our DVC friends.
DVC desk, DVC friends. If you are a DVC member, how often can you pick up freebies?
Every day.
Every day. So
We own a lot of them already. So.
yeah, you tend to find they do get repeated. So it's lanyards, caps.
Apparently there's bottles at some point.
Yeah. So our friends Paul and Christine told us there are bottles. If we get bottles, it slightly makes this redundant.
Yeah.
Bottles. Why do we get bottles?
Why?
Yeah.
What, these?
Yes.
Because it's hot.
Yeah.
And we're going out all day.
And it's not really practical to take those cups, is it? Let's be honest.
No, at least these lock. I've locked mine.
Yeah.
So you can't open it.
They were only about £4 from Tesco's, weren't they? So, but the good thing is as well with these bottles, you can just take them straight through security at the airports. She's got a Donald hat, but yeah, you can take them straight through security at the airports as long as they're empty, of course, and then you can just refill them on the other side if you want to. So we're going to try and find a way to waste 45 minutes before the start of our excursion.
Sure, we can find a way.
Absolutely, and we will see you in a bit. One of the reasons that we do love the Fantasy above all the other ships at times is the aft and the bar area. So we are starting here at La Piazza as you enter the area called Europa, and it is all very much themed to a European sort of culture. In here, there is almost like this carousel-esque bar. Just off to the right is O'Gill's Pub, where you can do a lot of the sort of sampling and testing and tastings. They do a lot of that, but also there's a lot of quizzes and stuff in there. The people just over there, once they've gone, I will show you, but there is a Harry Potter-esque motorbike. You then have... Sorry?
It's a Vespa.
It is a Vespa. It's Harry Potter-esque.
Wrong brand.
But yeah, there's another bar here. Dan, which bar is this? That's Ooh La La, isn't it? Yeah. Is that the champagne bar?
Yes.
It is. Piano in there, so... And there we go. So there is the motorbike, which people do enjoy sitting and taking a picture on. Normally you have... Oh, somebody's left a watch or a bracelet. That's unfortunate. But yeah, so there's lots of stuff around here. And then as you go to the back, right at the aft, there is the Skyline Lounge, which has changing pictures and layouts of cities around the world, and then drinks themed to it. It does have Danielle's favourite drink. I think is it Eiffel 65, the drink?
Yes.
If I remember that, that's quite impressive. And then our favourite one on all the ships is the Tube. We will see if there's nothing going on in the Tube. We'll try and show you what the Tube looks like.
And at night, late at night, for adults, they put food out.
Yes, they do. Just remind me, what is this themed to again? This little toilet walkway?
I don't know.
We do like it though, yeah. So let's take you to the Tube. Tube is ever so sadly closed off for the minute. But yeah, we'll take you across the Skyline and show you the Skyline bar. This is the Skyline Lounge. Not properly set up, but all of these screens will occasionally change to a different city in the world, reflective of the drinks that they have on offer. I've had to put the camera on low light because it is so dark in here.
Yeah, some of the lights aren't on right now.
Yeah, so but it is stunning in here.
Yeah.
And then yeah, back out to the main aft area where you can get the elevators just off to the right there. One thing that we do love about the ships, and this is on most cruise lines anyway, there is a good deck layout, well placed everywhere throughout the ship. So if you are ever confused as to where you are, just keep walking until you find one of these, and it will always give you the exact locations of where you are, enabling you to then find all the other places that you want to try and obtain. And as you can see on here, as we've said, at the front you've got the concierge lounge, chill spa, senses spa, but then everything else at the front, staterooms, with the exception of a few laundrettes. And then again through other areas of the ship as well, there are a few other laundrettes as well, including the back of 5.
That was higher up than I thought.
Did you just struggle to get up, Danielle?
Yeah, it doesn't help I've got sun cream on my legs, so I keep sticking.
We are on deck 4, and just off to the side, opposite shutters, so the side that you would come in the ship on with the atrium, and then you've got the staircase just there. So off to the left of the stairwell is Vista Cafe, just to the side of my lovely wife's head. Vista Cafe, so drinks here do cost extra if you want drinks from here, including Monster over there that I can see, specific bottled water, that is all at charge. However, this case in front of us with all of the sweet treats, pastries, danishes, cakes, anything like that. These are all free, and all you need to do is wait for one of the lovely gentlemen, or the ladies if they're serving, to come over, and they will give you these. And before we go, we decided to grab a couple of snacks.
A sweet treat, if you will.
Yeah, before we go, because we think, we're not going to grab lunch, we're not going to have that time. So we'll grab these before we go. And I'm sure, if we ask nicely, they can make more noise in the background.
They're making coffee.
They are.
The tour people can assign you in the correct tour, okay? So now the next one is food. If you have oranges, bananas, or anything with you guys right now, that's a no-no, and that cannot be taken off the ship, all right? So whenever you are on the gangway, make sure that the food is not getting off the ship. Now, back on board, it's going to be at 8 p.m. So if your tour is over before 8 p.m. and you want to go for a walk on the city, make sure that you're here to be safe at 7:45, all right? And now, last but not least, if you the photo of your passport, that's gonna be great, but also if you have a photo ID for everyone in your party, that's gonna be fantastic. All ages must have or even passport or photo ID.
And so we are off. We are group 39. There are 3 groups apparently doing this excursion. So we have to stay with everyone in our group.
You're in my group.
Yes. So we have made it off of the ship. You can now see just how big this thing is. And we are just waiting to be taken over to our bus to go to Mount Etna. We are on the coach. I'm sure they'll put the aircon on soon. Very handy couple of little bits that we've got on here as well. So yeah, I'm guessing that is a wonderful audio system for us to be listening to the tour guide and everything they tell us. See, we are really high up, and right up there where the cloud is spewing is the very tip of Etna. This is where only a week and a bit ago there was an eruption. However, the guide has been brilliant at saying and explaining how everything here, how it's been formed, how the towns have been formed, how the cities have been formed, how things are irrigated and formed all around this, and this has been an absolutely phenomenal tour so far. Really highly recommend it. Part of this as well is that you're also able to come inside this shop/restaurant. You can have some arancini if you want, get some genuine Italian coffee. There's a shop as well with plenty of lava stuff. Fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be that close.
Yes.
Where it erupted like a week ago.
Yeah, and I think we've established some people...
I can't hear that.
But I think we've established some people can only really cope 2 hours on a coach without having to make noise and scream and talk over the tour guide.
Yeah.
And there are some people who don't listen to the tour guide when they're told not to get too close to the edge because the ground is slippy, and yet still they even try to pick up volcanic rock. That guy. That's right, the guy in the blue shirt. Just listen, it's not hard.
We're so high up, my ears are popped.
Yeah.
With about 2,000 metres up.
Yeah, the views are fascinating, I will say that. We are trying to film bits where we can, but we're also trying to listen through the whispers, so that we can actually hear what he's saying.
I think we now go down there to walk down the crater.
Yes, so that's the intention, is we're going to go through the crater. We've just been to the shop and we've just bought some honey, which apparently can cure the cold. A cold, I should say.
A cold.
We also bought a very small volcanic turtle. Insert picture here, Paul. Interesting when you are in an area where they have technology, they just choose not to use it. Where the guy in front of us was quite literally saying to the man behind the counter, the prices you're giving me equals 78 euros. And the guy behind the counter goes, no, it's 88 euros. So then when he actually had to figure it out, it came to 78 euros. That took 5 minutes. 5 minutes that nobody really has.
No.
Also, just as a word of warning, if you do want to go to the loo here, it's 50 cents.
So we did not.
That literally takes... Anyway, Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we are just waiting for everyone to get back on the coach, and then we are heading to one of the craters. So we are now at one of the craters. There are two. There's one right behind us as well, which Dan and I are planning to probably do on our own if we've got time.
Easier one.
Yeah, the easy one. Yeah, this is the one which is with our guide. However, it is interesting though how many of the port adventures do actually come up here. Horrendously windy up here. The tour guide is showing us quite a lot of the craters. This is one of them, and I think this is probably not only as close as I'm allowed to get, but as close as I'd want to get. And obviously just down in there is one of the craters that has erupted in the past. Interesting, isn't it?
Had to put my hair up. Hello, welcome to my TED Talk. No, I've had to put my hair up. This is very windy.
Yeah, it is. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit extreme. It's definitely not what you'd expect, he says, being at the top of a mountain on a volcano. That's one of the other craters just up there that we're looking at going over to shortly. But again, there's one. So our tour guide over there has been brilliant in telling us all the sort of small little tiny bits that we need to know about. His whispers. They're good for hearing him, but it doesn't help when he doesn't have a wind muff as well. So we're actually going to step away from him for a moment to go and do some exploring, as long as we are back on the coach by 4 o'clock, he said. 5 to 4, there we go. Right, back in a bit. But this is one of the craters that we can go into where it has previously erupted from in the past. I'm not going to pretend I caught the exact dates that he said these craters erupted, but did he say one of them was 2002? You'll just have to nod because I won't be able to hear you. Remember?
No, I crossed my legs. I crossed my toe, like my feet over, and then just didn't move. Didn't even slide. Because I was looking back to see where our guide is and who's left with him. There's 2 people.
He's a very nice guide, and I will say, for somebody whose like first language is not English, I'll give him his due. He's doing very well. It doesn't help us when like people behind us on the coach are screaming louder and louder, and again, as I said earlier, we've established that in reality it does appear that people can only really last 2 hours on a coach journey before they have to start making noise, isn't that right?
Yeah, I think that's what we said earlier. Hello and welcome to the inside of the crater. It is dead on 3 p.m. on this sunny Sunday.
Welcome on Sunday the 7th, no 8th, Sunday the 8th
8th.
of July, June even.
I feel like I'm on the news. But yeah,
So
this
tell
is
us what you can see inside the crater, Danielle.
rocks.
Lots and lots of rocks.
It rocks. Some
Oh, by
people
the way,
take
did you
it for granted.
Did you know there's a concert
Ooh.
going on in here? Because there's a rock show just there.
Oh, it's the Rock of Ages. But it's surprisingly not as heavy as I thought it would be. Like, when you think volcanic rock, I kind of feel like heavy.
Do you think you could pick up a much bigger one, or is that a bolder statement?
I contributed. And now, just to prove your point. Oh, this one's even lighter. Look, you can see the inside. That's weird.
That is actually really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like honeycomb structure. And it's shiny. It's glittery.
Right, should we start to head round to the other crater?
Yeah, I would just like to take a picture of my volcanic rock, please.
Okay, no worries.
BRB.
I think this excursion was $159 each.
No, it was 69.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Dan says this was $69 each. I don't think it was. We'll put the actual price in. It's been very interesting. Like the journey, we had a fascinating moment where a person at the back, when it got a little bit hairy with other cars on the road, said, "Oh my God, the coach driver's taken us up the wrong road, surely." That's right. The highly experienced coach driver, who's probably done this journey near enough every other day since they passed their coach test, has taken us up the wrong road.
Let's go up that side.
You couldn't quite believe that, could you, with somebody shut out from the
Oh,
back?
but also, I think the problem is we're used to small, windy roads. You don't really have a lot of those stateside.
No.
And when you do, they're quite rare.
Yeah.
So yeah, for us it's normal, but I think we're going to go up. There is the path we came down. And then to my left is the path that I think we're going to go up. because then we can walk along that bit.
And then start to make our way up there as well.
Yeah, we're gonna go do that.
We will definitely need a microphone up there.
Yes, and we're definitely gonna take the easy path.
I know once again it's time to state the absolute bleeding obvious, but there is very little oxygen up here. We've just climbed up here. Granted, we're not exactly the fittest people in the world. Yeah, that's hard work. So good luck to us going up there. Yeah, we're going to have to take the easy route because, yeah, not going to lie, that was actually quite challenging. It is going to seem like a really, again, obvious statement, but we are 1,900 metres up and the air is not thin, but it is thinner. And just climbing up that small hill is testament to how difficult it must be. And that's why when I see people doing like these mountain marathons, like when they're doing 26 miles up and down an actual mountain, I'm like, how are you doing that? But yeah, so we are now going up the other crater. And I think to make sure that we've got the chance to actually breathe properly, we will see you when we're at the top of the crater. Right. We have done 10 minutes of walking up here. Tried to shield the microphone from the wind.
My heart.
We've got our Apple Watches telling us that Danielle's heart rate's 171 and mine's 166. Now, for context, Dan and I... What?
It was lifting.
Okay. Dan and I have treadmills, bikes at home. We exercise regularly.
I've lost over a stone. Imagine what it would have been like before.
But this is killing us. Now, I'm going to show you something even more ridiculous unless you are that way inclined. There are actual hiking trails where you can go up towards a volcano. I don't know why you do it, but if you want to do it, clearly there is the option to do it. I don't think it's something that is run by Disney Cruise Line, however.
No, they do the cone path.
Yeah, there's also somebody, I thought they were on a mountain bike, but they're not. But either way.
The problem is, because it's such an incline, you've got to lean into it.
Yeah.
And this is the easy route.
Yeah. Right, keep going.
Yeah.
So this is the base of the 2001 crater that erupted. You can see the impact that all these sorts of craters have. I'm pretty sure the tour guide said there are over something like 3,000 craters on this volcano alone, which is absolutely fascinating. So this...
Just there, where it erupted last week.
Correct. See, where you can see the smoke spewing out the top, that's the last eruption. That happened literally 7 days ago. Right, we're going to keep walking over this ridge here, up here. Yeah, so that's where the top is. That's a good shout, Danielle. 20 past it is. So we might turn around now, we'll see. This is the main crater from the 2001 eruption. Danielle has stayed down there and I understand why. Because it is brutal. There are people who've made it up there. I don't know how, I mean obviously that path is how, but they must have far better fitness than I do. Right, we are now going to make our way back down to the coach, given it will probably take the same amount of time to go down as it did coming up because the ground is just so unstable in reality that when you put your foot down, even going downhill you slip. And if you've got really shoddy joints like I have, last thing you want to do is an injury. Literally one day into your holiday. Just finished our walk up to the crater. We have taken a step back to where we got off of the coach. We have spent a bit of time here at Crateria Silvestri and we have managed to spend a bit of time just catching our breath. We have used literally catching our breath. We have used the toilets in here. It's 50 cents for a use, which is, and actually I would say out of the two, these are the cleaner toilets.
Okay.
So yeah, but anyway, we've been having a chat with our guide and we are now on the way back down to Messina.
To the rainforest room.
To the rainforest room where we can relax our muscles. And just like that, excursion is done. We are back at the Fantasy. We had a 2-hour trip back and a little opportunity for us to have a bit of a snooze on the coach as well. So we're just going back on through security. We'll see you on the ship. And when you do get back to the ship, there are always cold drinks available for you to take before you get on board. And also, cold towels. Love a cold towel. So yeah, and then just a bit of a queue to get back on, but that's because a lot of excursions have just come back all at the same time. So yeah, love a cold towel.
It feels nice.
Pretty seamless getting back on. They do advise you to take passports or government issued ID when you do get off the ship, so that when you come back on, if it is needed, Dan thinks she spotted a lift. If it is needed, then you've got it available. So yeah, we're gonna go and grab some food. I remember saying to Dan, we might as well just keep walking. There's a lift. I'll just keep walking, but there's a lift. There was a lift. We are making our way up to go and get some pizza. We are then heading to the rainforest room, and we will take you on our phones into the rainforest room to give you a bit of a tour of what that looks like as well. We have just been up to deck 11 forward, so I'm very conscious as well, if it's not obvious, forward is the front of the ship, midship is the mid of the ship, aft is where we are in the back of the ship.
I've just taken my trainers off. That feels nice.
Yeah, we've been up to get ourselves something to tide ourselves over until dinner, which is still a couple of hours away. So Dan's got some 4-cheese pizza, and I have picked myself up some barbecue chicken pizza and pepperoni. And again, all of this is included.
No free.
I don't think this was the sort of content people were after, Dan.
We're covered in volcanic ash.
We are.
And it's now all going to go in the hot tub.
Yeah, we are heading to the rainforest room once we've eaten this and once we've changed, so we will see you very shortly.
Sweaty.
So welcome to iPhone Cam. We are off to the rainforest room, literally bare minimum. We've got key to the world cards, phones, that's it. Dan also has hiccups. So when you come in, you have to hand over your key to the world card, and then you get one of these lovely green bands. When you come through, obviously there's the fitness centre on the right, as we were saying the other day, but the men's and the women's changing rooms are down here on the left. Very, very different layout to the Wish when we had the Wish. So again, men's is on there, Dan's is round to the left here, but Dan doesn't want to get changed, she's just going to go straight in.
I've got myself on the day.
We have 8 o'clock upon us and the all aboard time passed. It would appear everyone is on the ship as we are pushing away from port. It would be perfect if Dan and I could actually go up to the top of the ship. However, we can't because we've got dinner very shortly, so you'll be able to see the time lapse thanks to this. But also I'm going to try and just put on the bridge camera so that you can see exactly what the front of the ship is seeing as we pull away. One of the great things about the Disney cruise ships is they do have cameras, not quite everywhere, but they do have them at the front of the ship, and it does give you a chance if you are coming into port to be able to see where you are. The other benefit as well is if you are on one of the Bahamian cruises and you're coming into Castaway Cay or you're coming into Lighthouse Point or even Nassau, you can get some phenomenal footage just from your own bed to see exactly what your ship is doing. And as you can see, we are starting to sail away from Messina in Sicily. You looks pretty.
I got ready in about 5 minutes.
But last time we saw you, we were off to the rainforest room. So we did get to record a couple of bits in terms of the rainforest room, but I'm conscious of time. So I think we'll talk about that a little bit more maybe another day when we're in the rainforest room and it may be a bit quieter.
Good joke.
All in all, though, we are just about to go down for dinner. So we're trying to keep this brief.
It's Animator's Palate night, which
Yep.
is why I've got garish earrings and ears in my hair.
Animator's Palate is one of our favourite restaurants to eat in. After Rainforest Room, we went on the Aqueduct.
We walked past and we were like, no queue.
It's literally
Let's
5
do
minutes,
it.
so we just threw all our stuff in and went for it.
Yeah, it was good fun.
We didn't take the GoPro with us because obviously it's behind Danielle. But they
Obviously
are...
not allowed.
Yeah, they're somewhat fussy depending on the ship, whether it's Dream, Fantasy, whether you can take phones, cameras, GoPros. But if you want to see what the ride's like,
Someone else will have
someone
it.
else will have it on YouTube.
Tim's got it, Tim Tracker, if you watch him.
Yes, yeah, he's got quite a few actually. It's a water slide, simple enough. Yeah, it's just been a nice, relaxing afternoon since we got back from Mount Etna.
We went in the hot tub
Yes,
and there were jets that were on my shins. And like that sort of area. What's the muscle behind your shin?
calf.
Calf.
So they were on your shins, but they were the back of your shins.
Back of my shins. My calf. I'm autistic, leave me alone.
If you have any kids studying biology, do not lend them
Don't come to
towards
me.
my wife.
Yeah, and that was really nice. And I had it on my feet because my feet hurt.
Yes.
But that's from doing all of those steps in Civitavecchia. Hey. In my flip-flops.
Look, I told you that you would be silly to do that, but anyway.
No, you did not.
So put your trainers on.
No, you did not.
Oh no, that's right, because you put your trainers in the hand luggage.
Yeah.
Going down to dinner. Already have domestic. Also very consciously aware that we haven't shown you Gary the snail yet.
Oh, look, my hair.
I don't think the camera was going to pick that up. But yeah, Gary the snail, we came back and Saron had already done our room, despite us saying leave it till we're back, it's fine. He's just gone, no, it's absolutely fine, I have time, I'm going to do it now.
I've called him Gary, by the way, because of the Snow and SpongeBob. He looks exactly like that.
Okay. After dinner, we're not coming straight back here though, are we?
No, we're going out, without leaving the ship.
We're going to see a UK band.
Well, we're going to go watch, assuming dinner isn't as slow tonight, we're going to go watch Intuition first. I don't really remember what it is, but it's adults only, so usually it's funny. And then, yeah, there's a UK, I think it's called, I can't remember what they're called, but the thing is like Mashup Wonders tonight.
Jazz and swing mash up.
No, it's not Jazz and Swing, it's just Mashup Wonders tonight.
Okay.
We don't know what it is. It's new. I want my dessert already, let's go.
So we are in Animator's Palate. For our first dining of Animator's Palate, at least anyway.
One of two.
Yes. For it being a long cruise, but yeah. Yes.
Have a decent table.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We'll actually have space to, well, yeah, we'll actually have space to see the screens as the shows go on. So we will show you all of that as the shows start to develop. We know what we're having food-wise, don't we?
Yes, I could probably tell you the whole menu. So to start, I'm having black truffle pasta.
2 of those.
Then for my main is pasta bolognese.
2 of those.
And then for my dessert is the apple crumble rice pudding. But probably 2 of those for me. It is my favourite dessert. I don't know why I don't ask for it when we're at other restaurants, because you can do that.
So this is one of the shows and the magic bands are already going off. Thank you.
Oh, cheers! Right, cheers! Woo! Check out all the human news!
A big human tank! Sweet!
Human news, go on! Human news, try to find Nina!
Try to find us!
Come on down, little. Everyone say hello, Dory. You too, Jellyman.
Crush, I'm not really comfortable with this.
Why not?
I don't know anything about talking to humans.
Oh, I can speak human. Hello, human.
Dory?
Hello.
Let's go think of some games we can play with them, okay?
So whilst the games are going on the screen to our right, we have got our bread service, warm bread with some dipping oil and some butter as well. What's the shape before it even comes up? It's a fish.
Dory.
Is it not just a fish?
I thought the first was Dory.
I thought it was always just a fish.
Dory.
It's me.
See? We've been here before.
Technically, I was right. It's a fish.
Dory.
Starters have arrived. The black truffle pasta. It's really subtle, actually. It's not a very overpowering flavour.
Apart from that. We don't eat that.
Sorry, we don't eat what?
Bit mushroom.
Oh, the mushroom, yeah. There's not mushroom on the plate.
It's in a champagne sauce.
Yes.
I'm just going to cut it open so you can see the inside.
But yeah, it is very, very nice, isn't it? Would it be fair to say that did not take long at all to go down?
No, but they're really little.
It's only like 4 parcels, isn't it? But
I cut mine in half though. You ate them whole.
No, I did cut all mine in half as well. Yeah, I wanted to feel sophisticated.
I think the problem is
Oh, hang on, sorry. I wanted to feel sophisticated.
Help me. But we have a pasta starter and a pasta entree.
Yes. Well, not a pasta dessert.
How would you make spaghetti ice?
Okay, so we're really struggling for content very clearly at this.
No, just saying again, how do you make a pasta dessert?
Answers in the comments below. How do you make a pasta dessert?
In Elf, he uses spaghetti and like a load of like sweets and chocolate sauce and stuff. There you go.
We're going to wait for the entrees now, I think.
We're waiting for Crush, but
that's true.
I don't think he'll talk to us. We took her away.
Yeah. He did talk to us when we were on this in November.
There.
Yeah.
I can see our table from
Yeah.
here. I can see our VIP dining area.
I mean, to be fair, he talked to us in November because we were literally the only people in that area.
Only people. I don't think you'll be able to see from here, but there's a whole section just over there that's got a massive screen.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn around and point the camera at about 100 people.
And there's about 6 tables in the area, and there was just us on our own with our private dining team.
It was lovely.
It was like we were fenced off, and I was like,
oh, we really were.
These people are going to be looking at us like, who do they think they are?
So if you imagine, and this is the best way to describe it, Dan and I are here. Do you imagine the people behind Danielle aren't there? The people that I'm now looking at to the right aren't there. None of these people were here. The people behind me were not there. We literally had all of this with nobody there, and it was just us.
So it meant that every night we had the best table in our section because there was no one else coming.
Yeah.
They just went, oh, well, this is meant to be your table, but we're going to put you here because it's better. And like when we were sat over there, we weren't meant to be sat under the screen, but they put us under the screen so that we could talk to Crush. And Crush made us talk way at each other.
Yes. I love you.
Yeah, it was very I don't think Crush expected us to do it, but we both did very loudly.
One thing I just want to mention is that there is a photographer that does go round the restaurant. You do not have to have the photo. If you do want the photo, that's fine. It'll go to a profile and you can pay for it if you want it.
Or if you're a certain Castaway Club level and you get the photo package for free.
Pearl, isn't it?
Yes.
25 and over.
Yeah. Then go ahead. That's probably what we will do once we get there.
Yes, but for now we are waiting for our mains. It's a simple dinner, but they do it so well.
It looks like it could be the best one we've had.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It looks like the perfect consistency. Also, I want this bowl.
Yeah, the bowls are...
It's a good bowl.
Pretty nice. Do you want to try it and just see if it is the best one we've had?
Get a good amount of everything.
It is good. It looks good. Right, I'm going to tuck in as well.
So everyone, cheers.
So they were meant to start a wave down the other end and then send it to this guy over here. They didn't.
It stopped like there.
Although I'll give that family over their credit, they are really into it. You gonna paddle? You're not gonna paddle?
You put your left hand up and sing.
Sing what? You went over that.
Call it out. Next, we're two.
We left by this time last time.
Danielle's apple crumble.
Apple crumble rice pudding.
Sorry. A sundae which we weren't expecting. Just appeared.
By magic.
And then my cheesecake.
Our last name is sweet. So when I say sweet,
Chocolate fudge cheesecake. Very nice.
like this.
Remember when we said, at least I think we said, that we were going to go to the Tube
Yes.
at 10:30?
Yes.
What did you just say?
I'm tired.
I want to lay in bed. And I said, okay, do you want to go for a walk around instead? Because it's quiet. It's quite quiet out there. And he's gone, no.
Not at the moment, I don't know. I think one thing that I don't want anybody to ever have any doubt on is that you cannot do it all on a Disney cruise.
No.
We are on this for 7 nights. We will not be doing it all. In fact, we will have now done this ship twice, and there will still be things that we will not have done. We were going through our plans for tomorrow, and all the stuff that Dan has starred and favourited and hearted. Yeah, you heart it, don't you? Don't star it. Yeah, you heart it in the app. And I said to Dan, she went, oh, we got Jack's Diaper Dash at 12, and then we've got Taste Test Ravioli at 1:30. I said, so Jack's goes on for 12:30, if not slightly longer. What do you want to do about lunch?
And I went, eh.
I think, you know, we're trying to give as much information in these videos as we can. But it's the reason that we keep coming back to doing Disney cruises, is because you just can't do it all. And we will have done the Fantasy 3 times by the end of August. And even then, there will be stuff that we will not have done.
That's also why on this cruise we've done the Rainforest Dream.
Yes.
Because it's something that we did on the Wish, and they're all different.
Yes, they are very different.
And we also thought, this is a long cruise. We can, like, on the days where we get back from excursions, like we did earlier, just go sit in there for an hour.
Yeah.
Don't have to be crazy.
Yeah. Animators Palate, really, really good. We are noticing more and more as the nights go on just how busy the servers are. We've been having a conversation, I think, once we've had probably 4 nights of service, we'll be able to explain a little bit more how we feel it compares to others. And it's interesting because another couple we met from London, they are here for the first time.
They're on early dining.
But they're on a table of 8. And when we were in Enchanted Garden yesterday trying to say hello to Maria, those they were empty tables.
Yeah, whether people just haven't turned up, or some people do first night Paolo.
That's true.
It's easier to get. People don't usually want to do first night Paolo.
And even the family who were next to us last night, they weren't behind us tonight.
No, they weren't there. I tried to look for them, they weren't there.
So they do move the table layouts around so that you are adjacent behind next to different people most nights.
You'll be around because you share the same server. So.
But it does feel like our server.
He is a busy man.
Is being pulled and stretched thinly, and I think that's the first time we've actually felt that way. But we want to give it another couple of nights before we kind of say yes, that's definitely the case.
I kind of give them leniency because we're not actually meant to be on this service. They've pulled strings to put us on it and also give us our own table, which we weren't expecting. So
yeah, we really weren't.
Because as of when we got on the ship, they couldn't fit us in. And then as we've already said, we went downstairs and we were like, can we go on the wait list again, please? Because they start another wait list. And they were like, yeah, you'll have to give up your own table.
And we were like, fine.
Yeah. And then we get to dinner and we're like, oh, own table.
So yeah, but good day all round, and I think this is the one thing I want to impress again. Even though we've done an excursion today, there is still so much on the ship that we could have done. So don't ever feel like if you go on these cruises and you go, actually none of the excursions appeal to me, don't ever sit there and think to yourself, we're going to be stuck on the ship with absolutely nothing to do.
Oh, it's constant.
Because we are quite happy to admit when we go to Nassau, we don't get off.
Although we are in September.
But normally we don't, and it's fine.
Yeah, we stay on the ship, and we do pools or do trivia, because there is trivia constantly. Yeah. What I'll do tomorrow morning, I will take a video on my phone, and I'll just scroll through the whole day, so you can see what's on a sea day.
It'll be a long clip.
I might like.
But what I don't think people possibly appreciate if you've not been on a Disney cruise, stuff is running from, give or take, 7 AM to midnight. And we joked this morning that when we got downstairs, like the restaurant was quiet because Americans were struggling. But you look at it, most Europeans are already in bed. And it's the Americans that are like, great, let's go do the silent disco. All that sort of stuff. And then the clocks are shifting again tomorrow.
Well, which is interesting because technically, it's probably not the case, because we don't get to Greece until the day after. But they've been smart about how they do it. So our Greece days are sandwiched between sea days.
Yes.
So that you can have that day to sort your times out so that you're not late for excursions.
Yeah. Because otherwise...
I realised that just then.
Otherwise, you could be like the DVC lot that have come from Alaska and will eventually, by the time tomorrow rolls around, be 11 hours the wrong way. So yeah, but it's been a good day. We really enjoyed it. Animators Palate was top tier in terms of the food. Yes. The entertainment's good.
Looking forward to night 2 there. We've never done the night 2 thing. So
yeah, it'd be good. So thank you very much for watching. It'd be really good if we can see you again on the next video.
Come back, please.
For tomorrow. Where we are on our first day at sea. And formal night as well.
Yeah.
Our first ever formal night.
Yeah.
So we go.
Got to dress up all fancy.
Got to look smart.
That was my fancy dance.
Right, on that note guys, we'll see you tomorrow, and thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.